Good night, everyone. Tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Karma J, a spirit divine. I'm here to give a short word on tonight. It's real short. It's gonna come from Jezebel. Jezebel. Enlarge my territory. Now, Jabez, he was more honorable than his brothers. Now, his mother had named him Jezebel, saying, I give you birth to him in pain. So she was in so much pain when she gave birth, and that's why she named him that. Jezebel, he is a boy whose name means sorrow. He was born in pain. Now, his mother gave him birth to him with sorrow. Now, he about to pray to God. And I don't know if his tent or his house was real small and they got more people, that he wanted to enlarge, but he cried out to God. He cried out to God of Israel that you will bless me and enlarge my territory. Now let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain. Because he know his mother was in pain, so he asking God to take that pain away from him, and God grants his request. Because remember, he was a man of God. He had faith, and they don't say why he wanted to enlarge his territory. Maybe he had more people living with them, or their tent needs to be bigger. He needs to expand his tent, But he did a good prayer. And God granted his request, because he asked God, bless me, enlarge my territory. Now he prayed was powerful. But God had answered him so fast. That means his prayer was powerful, because he had faith. He lived a life of serving God and doing good for others. Now his prayer, he asked God to bless him, help him in his work by expanding his territory. Be with him in all that he did, and keep him from harm and pain. Now he acknowledged that God has a true center of his life, and so he prayed specifically to be protected from harm and pain. He kept on saying harm and pain because his mama was in pain. His mama born him in pain and sorrow, and I guess he had more family and wanted his territory to enlarge, and so this is somebody. This somebody was a boy. They don't have too much story on him. This somebody was a boy, and he was delivered as pain because his mother was in so much pain. But he had a connection with God. He had a connection to God, because his faith had lived. He lived a life of serving God, and doing good for others. So when he prayed, his prayers was very powerful. It really touched God. So God had granted his request, enlarge his territory, and so and keep him away free him from pain. He didn't want, and sometime a sickness or anything, sometime it rub on to the next generation. Because I remember a whole generation a person died while I was in elementary school. Some kind of disease they could not find out what's wrong, and all of them was dying except one, and they made sure they had got specialties and everything. So sometimes when your mama or somebody in your family have a certain thing wrong, you want to pray to God, or find out what's wrong so he can stop it. So he prayed to God that he don't have that kind of pain his mama had, because she had him in sorrow, that she was in so much pain, and so he was a man of God, serving God, helping others. So when he felt like that was his work area also, so he felt like he needed to expand his work area, or either he had more people living with him in his work area. He wanted it to expand, so his prayers were very powerful. He asked God to bless him and enlarge his territory. And God know he was delivered in pain. His mother was in pain. And we don't know why he was in pain. I would have to read more about, they don't have too much a story about him and his mother. But I would try to find and see why, she was in so much pain and sorrow. So that's all I have for you today. I do have a little show news. The gay order. Special Counsel Jack Smith again see Trump gay order in classified document case. Now Jack Smith had once again asked a federal judge overseeing the classified document, case again. Now former President Trump to expose on a gay order against the former president, barring him from making a statement about the law enforcement officer who searched his this is a Spanish word, resource. So the gay order request is focused on false and misleading statement. A former Trump president had made about 2022 Mar-a-Lago, including, that his life was in danger. He said his life was in danger because of the policy in place around the use of deadly force during the search. Because they had to search him. And a week after Smith initiated an attempt to a gay order, which Judge Arlene Cannon, that was the judge, she quickly shut it down. For preceding reasons, and it's also more identical to the original request. Now, this Judge Cannon failed to make a significant effort. She didn't make the effort to discuss the motion, with former President Trump defend on alternative before filing. So she really didn't want to look at the motion. She didn't want to discuss. She didn't want to discuss none of it. But she shut it down. The judge said the prosecutor could refine their motion once the effort had to been made properly. Now Judge Cannon had failed to resolve this issue. She refused to resolve this issue. But she didn't even want to discuss it. She just hurry up and shut it down. Jack Smith had went to the judge, Cannon, to place a gay order on Trump, because he felt the former President Trump was speaking out of line, and you seem to fail to resolve the issue. You didn't want to discuss the issue. You didn't want to have anything to do with the issue, but you shut it down. Now, law enforcement officer who searched his Molo, that was his club. It's a Spanish name. Ceasefire is a result of National History Landmark of Palm Beach, Florida, since 1985. It had been owned by former United States President Trump, who resided on the premises. Now we need this gay orders to be in place. Jack Smith made an emergency get order to Judge Cannon, and she refused to even discuss the matter, to even try to handle the situation or file, to put in a file for the get order. She immediately shut it down. So we need this get order in place. We need it in place. And so I need you to have the get order in place because you didn't take the time to even discuss the matter. You didn't discuss the matter. Uh, so I talked about, and I also talked about the border. These cities are update on the border. You know, uh, restricted border crossing. The plan to shut the border down temporarily due to overflowing. They had 4,000 immigrants crossing illegal. So that means the border was overflowing where they couldn't catch the ones that was crossing illegal. See, we need everyone to be legal crossing the border. And when they can't catch a lot of people, an immigrant crossing over, that means it's too many. They cannot, 4,000 a day is too many. So he shut it down. I requested shut it down too. And I said that multiple times. Once the border get overflowed, you should shut it down temporary. So we're gonna shut it down temporary until the numbers go down, and then it'll be reopened again. And I also had talked about Israel enhancement, the ceasefire. We need Hasman to agree on the ceasefire. Attend the ceasefire. Release the women and elders. Exchange for 100 hostages. Release the living hostages. Make service in Israel folks, will withdraw from Gaza. So we need Hasman to agree on this ceasefire. Because and we also need the hostages to be alive and living. And go home safely. They've been in this, since last year. So it's time for this war to come to an end. It's time for the hostages to come home to their family. So I request the Tennessee fire, to release the remaining hostages, to their family. I request the living hostages, to be living and safe, and to come home to their loved ones. Their loved ones is still worrying about them. They've been in there too long. This war been going on too long. So I request to release them hostages, and agree on a ceasefire. So that's all I have for you today. I see y'all in the next video.